in 3, 2, 1. We are live, and by live, I mean we're pre-recording this so we can edit it for you later in case we make any mistakes for you, like I just automatically did right there.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of Beyond the Device. I'm joined today with the SecureData team. Very excited to be having a conversation with these guys because they make really great product. You might not be aware of them, but you definitely should, especially if you need encrypted data. So what we're going to do first is just go around the horn. I've met all these gentlemen. I work with all these gentlemen, but you might not know them if you're watching or listening. So Ken, why don't we start with you, and we'll go to Blake, and then we'll finish off with Peter, and we'll come back and talk about SecureData. So Ken, tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do over at SecureData.
All right, my name is Ken Higgins, and I'm the Biz Dev VP here at SecureData. Been in the hard drive industry for about 40 years, so I have a lot of knowledge here with hard drives. And came on board with SecureData about a year and a half ago, and helping them basically promote and sell or find customers for our data encryption products.
Awesome, thank you, sir. Blake, over to you.
Hello, I am Blake Higgins. I am the sales manager over here at SecureData. I hopped on early 2021, mainly to help build their hardware sales division on our encrypted drives. I've been working in hardware distribution basically my whole career. Started in 2011 in distribution for a company called ASI, so I'm very familiar with the channel and how those operate. And happy to be working for a manufacturer and building out business from that side of things.
Awesome, thanks, buddy. And then Peter, over to you, sir. You're new to the team, right? This is brand new.
Yes,
like
I am. But
new.
I'm not new to products, storage products, or to security products. So my name is Peter. I am the VP of Marketing at SecureData. And yeah, I have a long history of working with both consumer and enterprise products for storage, as well as for the enterprise. And, you know, it's my pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. It's January 31st. We're already past the first month of the year. Thank you very much, Ken. I don't know my weeks for months apparently, but yeah, we're already past the first month of the year. It's crazy how fast it's moving here. Like I said, sincerely appreciate you guys making time. Tell us a little bit about SecureData. Ken, I'll come over to you first, but give us a little background of SecureData, because like I said, people might not be aware of the name. It doesn't mean that you guys are new to the space. It's just maybe an awareness thing. So give us a little background on SecureData, please.
Yeah, and briefly, we've been around about 15 years. We started off as a data recovery company, and we still are one of the largest data recovery companies in the world. That's our primary business. About three or so years ago, we had a lot of requests to get data back that needed to be back to a customer that's encrypted or more secure than sending basically a hard drive in the mail to a customer. So we had a lot of customers asking, especially government customers, public sector customers were asking for a more secure way to get their data back from a drive we've recovered the data from. So kicked off the company about 3 years ago, full focused on doing FIPS 140-2 compliance, which costs money and time. And so invested in this so we would have a way to give a customer a secure way when they got their data back, they'd have a secure way to have the data in their hand that got it back. Plus it opened up an angle with our federal customers and government public sector customers that need it, that for reasons, possibly compliance reasons, they can't carry data outside the office unless it's on an encrypted device. So that's kind of how we got started. So about 3 years ago, the line started. We first came out with keypad versions. We have keypad version and we have a Bluetooth version. So the Bluetooth version, I think, is the way to go. And we'll talk.
You guys, you're shuffling these things so fast. They're like playing cards.
Oh.
Can you actually? We are on camera, so can you actually show one just in the front of the camera? You have the blurred background, so sometimes it'll think it's a background piece and try to blur it out for you. But there it is, Secure Drive. Is that the Bluetooth one?
That's the Bluetooth, and Peter's got the keypad version.
There you go, and that's the keypad version.
And then we have the same versions, keypad with a USB, and I don't see my USB drive on the desktop here.
And so your physics, so the Bluetooth drive, can you, oh, there it is. Peter's got it up. Thank you, sir. So for the, we've got two of them, even Blake has one up. So for the Bluetooth drive, why is it Bluetooth? Can you explain that?
It's to make it easier connection. The keypad, been around a long time. A lot of competitors make the product as well. But you have to push a bunch of buttons. Typically with a keypad drive, you got to have at least 7 characters to type in. You got to press the key, you got to put in the PIN code and press the key to unlock it. So we're technology-wise, this drive does not you need any software or any specific hardware to run. It runs independently of your computer system. So once you plug in the drive, and it basically powers the drive up, you enter your PIN number to unlock it. Once it's unlocked, then the device becomes visible on the computer. So no software, no hardware is required on the laptop. It's straightforward. So what happens with this is that if you want to change things, like we have admin mode, we have a way that you can change your PIN code, you can change it to read-only mode. Well, that's a lot of pins and a lot of codes and a lot of numbers you got to remember. It makes it a pain. Can you say pain in the butt? I just did.
You sure can.
Makes it a pain in the butt.
That's a PG word, right?
Yes, of course. Another key difference with the Bluetooth drive is it enables us to use the most, I guess, the highest end computer we all walk around with, and that is our phones. Mm-hmm. So now you can use your phone to unlock the drive, and you no longer need to remember complicated passwords. Your phone will do it. It accesses extra factor of authentication. And you can also use the biometric features on this. So now we made it easier to use encryption. So now you can unlock things, and now we can support the end user in a managed scenario. So in the event that they forgot their password or they need help logging in, we can actually do that. It also gives us better control over security features. We can geofence them to a specific area. Say I had to send some surveillance data over to a police department across town. Okay. I could put it right down to their address, and it would be secure. It only could be read there.
So so to that point, I was going to say, so if you send that data, you geofence it, that person, maybe their drive is stolen, maybe their phone is stolen, and someone tries to access it from a different location, like a coffee shop, not going to work.
Nope.
That's a very cool feature. That's a very cool feature. See, this is exactly why we do these podcasts, because people don't know about this stuff. That's awesome. So that's okay. So that's the Bluetooth drive. Is there any geofencing capabilities with the keypad drive?
No, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
The only other feature this has that you can manage is you can put it in what we call admin mode.
Yeah.
So the admin can set an admin mode, set a password that he only has access to. So if your user forgets his password, you only get 10 attempts to unlock the drive. We call it brute force anti-hacking. So after the 10th attempt, the drive locks up. If it's an admin mode, they can't have access to the data. If it's just strictly the user has it, he locks it up after 10 strokes, then the data is wiped. It's gone.
Wiped completely. That's
wiped
it.
Completely.
Gone.
But in admin mode, he can send it back to his admin. They can unlock it, reassign a PIN code, and send it back to him.
That's like the what was the thing in Peter? You're in Silicon Valley. Who's the guy? I can't remember his name, but he has an encrypted hard drive for his Bitcoin, his blockchain, and he's got like $10 billion or some ungodly amount of money on there, and he's on the 9th attempt, and he's like, I don't know what the password is. I lost it, and it's like, man, that is. I don't mean to laugh, especially if this person sees it. That's probably nauseating to have that problem. But yeah, it's a very positive thing in the case of what you guys do for a living, because if somebody like the FBI was using it and that somebody was trying to break into files, we would want that data gone.
Well, that's an individual, but now we're looking at enterprises. Enterprises have been the target of a lot of, ransomware and data breaches where they're losing customer data. So we're looking at siloing our data from systems more, and these types of drives can help us do that. And being able to geofence them, so like to your point, if it was stolen and it's taken off site, it can no longer be used. So we have one customer that actually has a print facility, and they have 2 different locations. They've geofenced it so it only can be used in those locations. We can do that as well.
Okay.
But now that we can manage people, in the event that a drive does get lost, and Ken comes to me and says, Peter, I'm sorry, I got out of a taxi cab, I lost my drive. I can actually remotely delete it. So
also a very positive thing.
Yes,
especially
next time it's powered up, it will remove the key, and it's just a bunch of 1s and 0s after that. Without the key, it's useless.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just to go back to the point I was making originally, SecureData might be a new name. Maybe you're more familiar with Kangaroo. Let's talk a little bit about reference accounts. Somebody might not be aware of SecureData, but like I said in the past, you're not new to the industry. So what are some accounts? Like, what are some of the things that you guys are helping organizations solve? And it's not rocket science, right? It's data security, but there is some unique value that you guys bring to the table.
Well, one of the main things about our product and what it gives an IT admin the ability to do is to manage devices. In this world today, these devices are very easy to be carried around. And if you plug one of these drives in, you don't know where it came from. There could be malware out here, ransomware demand. Once you plug it inside the four walls of a secure environment, you're pretty much done. Once that virus gets launched inside your facility, then you're in big trouble. So what it does for the IT manager, now he can safely issue devices to his employees that want to be able to carry data outside their laptop. And that keeps it very secure, and then he can manage who, when, where, and how those devices are used. Pete mentioned Kingery as a place. We have a pharmaceutical company, same thing. Mm-hmm. Because our devices are independent of operating system or hardware independent, if you have any device, printer, scanner, PLC equipment, anything on the factory floor, you can use this to transport data from those devices on the factory floor that aren't connected to the internet because they don't want those on the internet. They can carry that data from those devices to the PC and then upload the device that way. And then they can geofence that data. For example, this pharmaceutical company is creating pharmaceuticals, right? They don't want this data outside the four walls of their building. So they basically geofence it and time fence it to that location. So if an employee was going to go work for another pharmaceutical company and says, I got all these secrets here, once he leaves the building and plugs this drive in, it basically says, sorry, contact your admin.
You don't have any secrets. That's it.
You have no secrets.
And everybody knows you're a scumbag for stealing the data. So there you go. Cat's out of the bag across the board. There you go.
We keep track. We're able to log all the login attempts. So even if you're not able to access it, we'll be able to tell where you were when you weren't unable to access it.
Oh,
so
wow,
all
that's
that
also
data,
powerful.
All that data is locked. So how accurate is it? Well, it's as accurate as your cell phone. So right down to the street address.
Yeah, that's incredible. It's absolutely So it's something I was unaware of. Getting the data piece is so incredibly huge and some of the conversations we've had about security. One of the especially when breaches happen, the big thing is like, how did it happen? And a lot of times companies have no idea. It's really wild, but it's like, hey, we had a major security breach. Like, where did it start? Like, shoulder shrug, not sure. Like having that information to know where a data breach came from is incredibly, incredibly important to the security teams in the world. So that's a great bit of information I think a lot of folks aren't actually aware of.
So as the administrator, I can actually make the drive immutable, which means I could put it in read-only mode, which means I could hand it out to my folks saying, this is our critical customer data list that you're going to need to use during certain times of the day, and I can lock it down. But I also can make it read-only because you don't need to add to it, and we don't need it becoming infected. So we can make it so it's read-only, and that way we keep the data clean.
Awesome. Blake, I want to get you in here a little bit. So from a channel sales perspective, are you our point of contact? Like if there's an opportunity out there, like for example, the FBI doesn't want to talk to you. The FDI, who are those people? The FBI doesn't want to talk to you, or it's maybe somebody like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or somebody that's doing something in pharma that wants secured, like a actual secured data product. Would you be our point of contact? You're the gentleman that we're going to, correct?
Absolutely. Yes. Anything channel related, I am your point of contact. From distribution to all the reseller accounts you work with, all the way to end user, the whole funnel, I'm involved. So feel free to reach out. I'm here to help.
And Blake is the expert for demos. We have a quick 15 to 20 minute demonstration we can do for an end user customer. So if the reseller has a customer who wants to try the product out, we can set up a quick 15, 20 minute conference call, go through the quick deal, show them how the operating works. We have a program called Reflect It, and it will actually reflect the iPhone to the screen and show how the interface works, how it all kind of works together. And it's a great way to kind of keep him busy as well.
Yeah, I typically do a 15 to 20 minute just a live demo just to highlight our solutions. I'll do a live geofence and I'll demonstrate our SecureGuard solution live as well. And just I do it to resellers and I do it to end users alike because resellers can benefit as far as like training purposes. I know, 3i, you already arranged a few with some resellers, which is fantastic. You guys are champions.
Thank you.
All that, that's what I'm here for. If anyone wants to talk about the product and get a live demonstration of it, I'm more than happy to do that.
Awesome. All right. Well, that'll bring us. We're getting along the tooth here. I know it's data security, so it's pretty straightforward, but there's some very unique things. That'll bring us to a wrap up on closing comments from you guys. Peter, I'm going to put you on the spot and start with you, sir. Last closing comments.
So the last thing I'd say is one of the things we want to do when we're trying to get rid of these data breaches and reach regulatory compliance is, well, we're the security experts and you don't have to be, because all of our products are, you're indemnified. And that's
Exactly.
the key word. All of them are FIPS 140-2 level 3 verified with certificates. So we've got it all nailed down. And you don't have to be the expert because we've already done that for you.
Awesome.
And I'll say quick, in the closing, how dangerous these devices are, these USB devices. This is a non-secure one from OWC, which is, it's perfectly fine, but it's dangerous because no one knows what the content on this. So as an IT manager, you allow people to bring this thing in, you're up for big trouble. There's a current FBI case now where these ransomware guys are actually putting logos on these devices like Microsoft and Norton, and mail it to your office. And in there's a letter that says, "Here's your update for Microsoft Windows. Please install it and upload the software program."
That's diabolical. These guys are getting so good at this stuff, man.
It's creepy. So if you have SecureGuard or use these type of drives, that goes away. So the IT guy can actually take a nap at night and sleep for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
You mean 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
Everything's way too hyper connected right now. That's it. You know, to that point, I never to wrap up, but that's actually how I think it was. Actually, I don't know the agency that did it. It might have been us, so I shouldn't say. But the centrifuge in Iran that was brought down.
It was Israel.
Was it Mossad?
It was Stuxnet, which was the virus they loaded.
Yeah, somebody badged in. Then
they were giving the drives away for free on the streets in Tehran, and somebody actually took it inside the centrifuge area, plugged it in, and Stuxnet malware around here was so precise to the actual centrifuge part number that it was only on that firmware on that machine. Anything reflected back to that machine, it was so sophisticated it showed the program running normally. And so after they killed a half dozen scientists and figured it all out, they went, "Oh crap! It was basically malware project," and that can happen here as well. It's very dangerous.
That's crazy. Well, we're not endorsing that. That's clear. I just want to state that we're not endorsing that kind of behavior.
No enrichment of uranium at all.
Definitely not. Blake, over to you, sir. Closing comments.
Awesome. Thank you, Reid. I want to close off by just saying how channel friendly we are. A lot of times, a lot of our competitors, they'll sidestep you guys and take you out of the deal. We're very loyal. If you bring us the deal, we'll stick with you. We're not going to take anything direct like that. And I also want to say that our competitors, they may require certain minimums to actually get on board. You will see some of our competitors, they may have some sort of management options. They may have similar drives. That's where they get you is the minimums. They could have a certain drive minimum or a certain user minimum. And that's how kind of, we fit into both the small guy and the big guy alike. A small guy, they could be priced out of the solution just because they have certain minimums. So we're very friendly to both the small guy and the big guy alike. Our price points are very, very friendly. Comparing to enterprise solutions, your mind will be blown how much more of a value we are and how much of a bargain we are compared to these big guys. So always keep us in mind for the big guy and little guy alike. And we sure do appreciate the support and looking forward to working with you guys at 3i. We're very excited.
And Blake reminded me of something pretty important, because since we are operating system and hardware system independent, whenever there's an upgrade to operating system, like in Mac has had one to their new upgrade to the new system, Data Locker doesn't have a solution for it yet because they require software to run on your PC. So that's the advantage of this product, is that there's never ever any issue because it runs independently of everything.
Okay.
So once you unlock it, it's just a regular hard drive.
That's okay. That's good to know. Peter, you're going to say something that looked like.
Yeah, I know we've already closed up, but I do want to tell you about one solution that we've come up with using these drives that is really different than what anybody else can do. Because we can remotely manage this drive, we figured out that if you as an administrator get your employees, your external employees, and who doesn't have external employees during a pandemic, right? So if you get them to put their BitLocker key on these drives, not only is that an additional factor of authentication, but now you remotely manage the encryption key, Meaning, if you need to turn off some contingent workers or remote workers, or if someone's lost a drive, left it in an Uber, I can kill the whole machine. So now I can manage assets, servers, storage systems, IoT devices.
That's very cool. That's almost like privileged access management in a way. That's it. I'm glad. Obviously, I'm glad we made time for that. That's a very good point, and we didn't cover this even with the 3i team. So there you go. It's dropping fresh knowledge for you guys here on the Beyond the Device podcast. Thank you guys so much for making time. That'll bring us to the close of this. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching, depending on the medium that you chose to listen or watch this file in. Be sure to click like and subscribe. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Tell us what you want to see on these things, or what you enjoy or what you don't like. We'll absolutely respond and make tweaks and changes as we go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Check us out for the next episode of Beyond the Device. We'll see you on the internet. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you.